So, The Family. It's a movie about gangsters, which we all love, but there's a twist, a big twist. How do you describe The Family?
The family that slays together stays together. It's that joke.
I like it.
Have you been saving that one?
Yeah. I used it only one other interview.
But it's all about the witness protection program, Fish Out of Water. So
Yeah, and the entire family. It's not just about one family member. It's, I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, and we never really taught our children to use their words. So it's got to come out some way.
Didn't teach them how to problem solve.
Yeah.
in a normal way.
In a normal way.
Right.
In a typical way.
Right.
Because they do solve their own problems.
They do, in their own way.
Yeah, in their own way.
Yeah.
What's fun, too, is the fact that, without going through all the list, you played in mobster movies before, both of you. So what is different about your character now? Or did you draw something from some of these other characters? Like, you're a little older than you were, playing
Just
a
a
mobster's
little.
wife and so on, yeah.
I've always loved this genre, and I love this world, and I love these people in this world. I love the accent, I love the clothes, I just love it all. So I think when you just respond to something like that, it just comes easier for you. And I certainly didn't want to repeat myself, and I was conscious of that a little bit. And basically, that was, I think, in the book, her hair is very dark. She's described as having very dark hair, which I would have liked to have done, but I didn't want to, have that comparison.
Yeah, this whole, the whole Goodfellas thing is so, because of that movie, makes it interesting. The whole, the Cinematech thing at the end is, I don't know what you call it, but it's kind of original, it's kind of great. I said, this will be fun.
And it was.
Yeah, and then Luc Besson wanted to meet Marty. And
Scorsese.
Yeah, Scorsese. And so I got them together, and he was a big fan of Marty's and Scorsese, and then that was it. So then Marty got involved in it and so on.
Having a French director, filming this in France, in Normandy, I guess a lot of it, did that, because actually the French countryside is a character, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, yeah, right.
So how
In
did
the
that,
same way that New York City is. Yeah.
So did that how did that play out in terms of making you feel like a fish out of water?
Well, and the way the story goes, with our experiences with the local people and how we handled the situations, or would like to handle them, and then maybe did actually handle this fantasy shots, and then real sort of exchanges with the local folk. And Luke has got a great sense of humor and sensibility, and understood that, and that's he's French, and he understands Americans very well. He loves American movies, so he could get the balance that
Yeah, because he spent a lot of time here, so it makes sense.
So because we were at one point we're thinking of he was just writing the screen adaptation to the book Malavita. Then he was going to produce it, and we were looking for a director who was going to direct this. And it was hard because it was really from him. It was he got the book, he got the whole thing, so he wrote the screenplays. It was his sensibility. So he finally said, look, I'll direct it.
Well, and if we didn't know this before, the big difference, at least in the movie, between the French and Americans, food, which was great. They don't really like peanut butter?
Apparently not. Yeah.
I guess not. I'm not really sure whether
It boggles the mind.
Yeah, but again, Luke knows that. I don't know whether they sell peanut butter.
What is it about getting older that we want to tell our stories? We want to tell the truth about our lives, which is what Giovanni is kind of attempting to do here.
Yeah, I think that's especially people who've had very interesting lives that have not been able to let it out. They want some kind of recognition for what they did, some kind of validation, as bad as it may be or as bad as it may be perceived. They want to tell their side of it because it's not so simple, and that's what he wants to do. So and again, I don't. That's a thing that was in the book, I think, originally, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
And then Luke, again, being a writer, that was maybe one of the things that attracted him to this project.
And of course, you too want to get it out at church. You want to confess, but that kind of falls apart, doesn't it?
Yeah, that kind of blows up in her face. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that it, you know, she's full of a lot of rage and a lot of shame, and I think that guilt, and it's her way of trying to redeem herself.
Real quick, don't I have double time with the generics?
Yeah, if you've already got it, yeah.
What?
Already.
Oh, but I mean generics.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be. This was a double
This
slot?
was double slot, yeah.
Oh, well, that was the quickest double slot I've
Well,
ever
what do you
seen.
want to ask us?
Did you want to ask one more thing?
Well, I just really want to say what people are going to laugh at kind of some violence here. So
Yeah.
how can we accept that, because it is funny.
Well, you know, it's not the first time that's been in a film where you find yourself laughing at things that you can't believe you're laughing at. I just saw, I don't know, I saw Matilda last night,
Yeah.
and it was interesting because it's dark, and but they had to take it to a big extreme, like in order for the audience to accept it in a way, in order for it to be, so in a way it makes it more palatable because it's so over the top.
It's a dark comedy.
Yeah,